Hundreds of dedicated volunteers are a part of JCOC's family. This includes the board of directors. Please welcome back the chair of the board, Michelle Partridge Lane. Michelle?
Good evening again, everyone. Having served on JCOC's board for the past 8 years, I've had the privilege of watching our executive director, Todd Walker, lead with vision, compassion, and strength. Under his guidance, the JCOC team has not only stayed true to its mission, but also expanded its impact on our community. Most notably through the successful completion of a $15 million capital campaign and the launch of a transformative campus rebuild. That's amazing. That's a round of applause. Todd is recognized nationally as an expert in shared housing and the housing first philosophy. His dedication and innovation have set a standard in our field and inspired countless others. Next month, he will be honored with the Julian Hurst Alumni Award at the Hampton Roads Chamber and LEAD 757 Bravo Awards. A well-deserved recognition of his leadership and his service. It is my honor to now welcome to the stage our Executive Director, Todd Walker.
Hey, good evening. Y'all can do better than that. Good evening. Let me remind y'all, this is a celebration tonight. A lot of great things have happened over the past year, and I'm really excited to be able to share with you some of the success that we've had, and you've all played a role in that and a part in that. And then also look at the vision moving forward, because we're extremely excited about that as well. Now, before I get started, I have two special people here tonight that I want to acknowledge. My youngest daughter, Johnny Walker, who took time from the Hill of Virginia State University to be here tonight. And my oldest daughter, who is attending her first gala and also Indiana University alum. Dr. Andrea Ariema. So thank you both for being here. I love you both. Tonight we're gathered here not just for a gala, but learning how we're unmasking hunger and homelessness in the community. Hunger and homelessness are not distant issues. They live in our neighborhoods, touch our communities, and weigh on our hearts. But here in this room, we hold the power to turn compassion into action and action into hope. Together, we can make sure no table is empty and no person is out of place to call home. And that's important because we really entered in some truly unprecedented times. The federal government has shut down, and we're dealing with potential loss of funding to programs that serve our clientele. Funding at risk includes future development, sustainability of affordable housing, and cuts to SNAP benefits and other different benefits like Medicaid that really help our clientele be able to survive and live day to day. In addition, last year, the Supreme Court ruled cities can punish or criminalize people sleeping outside or camping outside. This causes more trauma to a person who's already experiencing a crisis in real time. Now, with that being said, we are advocating for the preservation of funding that supports our work while continuing to be innovative in the ways we serve, because JCOC services are needed more than ever in our 39th year of existence. The Bible states, the blessed person isn't the one with the easiest path, but the one whose faith remains unshaken when the ground trembles beneath them. So with that being said, despite the circumstances, the work still must get done. I'm pleased to announce in our hunger relief programs, despite the fact that we're only serving now because we're under construction 5 days a week instead of 7, we're still serving approximately 120 to 140 meals per day, Monday through Friday. Now, when you add our food pantry, which is facilitated twice weekly, and food boxes, last fiscal year we provided over 121,000 meals to people in need in the community. Thank you. That is a big deal. And while those numbers are impressive, we're still in need of non-perishable items, funding, and volunteers to support our pantry and community dinner. So please keep that in mind tonight. The dinner was not just created to provide somebody with a meal. It's to acknowledge individuals as who they are, a person, people, just like you and I. They don't get acknowledged like that sometimes when they're out there in the community. We want them to know we see them and we love on them and we provide compassion and provide resources to help elevate them out of their current situation. When it comes to the food pantry, we're keeping people in housing because we don't want them to have to make a decision between paying rent and buying groceries. So we're helping keep people in housing there. And when it comes to people who are experiencing homelessness, a lot of people don't understand that you have to develop a rapport to move somebody from point A to point B. It just doesn't happen automatically. You know, last year, if you were here, you remember I gave you the analogy that if you land on the ground and you got your arm extended for help and you got 100 people to walk past you, each time that person walks past, that arm's gonna get shorter and shorter. So when that 101st person walks by and they stick their hand out to be able to provide the support and help, that person on the ground is gonna think, why can I trust you when the last 100 people have walked past me? You understand? So we have to develop that relationship to be able to move people from point A to point B. But we do understand that when they come into our hunger relief programs, that smile or that word of encouragement that we give them, maybe what gets them through the day, week, or month. One of my favorite stories about our hunger relief programs is we had a guy named Melvin. Melvin had a lot of criminal activity, lengthy criminal record. We had a previous board member had a relationship with him and wanted us to get him into the program. One day Melvin came to me and he said, "Hey man, the judge told me that if he saw me again, he's gonna send me to jail. And I just flunked the drug test." And he asked me, could I hold on to his belongings while he was locked up? And he said he'll try to figure out who can come and pick him up. Well, that night at dinner, we had a church come and, you know, he tried to keep his spirits up and connected with some of the individuals that were there in the church. And there was one female in particular from that church that he made a strong connection with. The next day, when he went to the court, as he's walking into the courtroom, that lady that he saw at dinner was walking out. And she asked him, "Do you have representation?" And he said, "I don't." And she said, "You do now." And she was able to go in, thank you. She was able to go in and advocate for him to the judge that he had made his own decision to come into JCOC and get the help that he needs. And I'm pleased to announce that the judge gave Melvin another chance. And for the last 9 years and counting, Melvin is still in housing and productive in the community. So it's more than a dinner. There's so many other dynamics. It cultivates a spirit of giving back. There's so many other dynamics that dinner helps with. So please continue to support our hunger relief programs as we move forward. Now, on the housing side, we're doing some great work as well. And for those who are here that may not know about JCOC, I'm gonna break it down a little bit about all of our housing programs. As the mayor mentioned earlier, we operate the only year-round shelter for single homeless individuals, 88-bed shelter, through our partnership with the City of Virginia Beach at the Housing Resource Center. Our staff there does a great job. We also operate a 16-bed transitional housing program for veterans experiencing homelessness. Two words that should never go together as veteran and homelessness. We have an 8-bed, what we call permanent supportive housing program. That's for the most vulnerable individuals in our community. Those individuals have a disability and they've been homeless a year longer. Most of the clients that we have that go in that program have been homeless 10, 20, sometimes 30 years. Very, very challenging. So when we get those individuals in housing, we have to kind of start from the basics and kind of teaching them how to live on the inside. We had a client one time, we initially got him into the program. He had a piece of cardboard on the floor and he pushed 2 chairs together and threw a blanket over the top. and that's where he slept every night. And it was a great lesson for us because we couldn't fully understand, you got a bed right there, but you're sleeping on the floor. But that's what he had been doing over the last 20, 30 years. And so we had to take baby steps to eventually get him into the bed and be smart about it. So there was times he would complain about his back hurting. And we used to say, well, you know, you got a bed right here. That may help solve that problem. And eventually he did get in there, and he's been doing extremely well in housing as well. Now, we have a rapid rehousing initiative as well. That's like our short-term solution to getting people out of their housing crisis. And what we do there is we go out and negotiate affordable rents with landlords and property owners. We have staff that provides housing support and stability and case management. And then we also have funding that we get, grant funding, that we can provide shallow subsidies to get those individuals in housing. That's been a very, very popular program. We have great staff that are part of that program. And as Michelle mentioned, we do shared housing, basically almost kind of go back to the college days where we encourage our clients to kind of team up as roommates initially so we can get them in and that rent can be a little bit cheaper. And we actually put leases on the rooms. And we've gotten a lot of notoriety. I've been blessed to speak at the National Alliance to End Homelessness several times across the country on shared housing. And if everybody, I'm sure most people in here are familiar with NPR, they actually did a piece on us about our shared housing program a couple of years ago. So Google NPR and shared housing, and that article will pop up about some of the great things we're doing there. So how do we do it? How do we get people in housing? Our requirement is to get people in housing in the shortest amount of time possible. And one of the ways we do it is we provide a high level of empathy. You see, empathy is the shortest distance between two people. So we provide empathy, a lot of compassion. We make that connection and develop that rapport. We work on their housing challenges to get them in housing as quickly as possible. What do you think would be the first thing we work on when somebody comes in emergency shelter? Anybody want to take a wild guess? What do you think an individual needs when they first come in? I'm hearing showers, I'm hearing meals, identification. You can't do anything without an ID. So we pay for birth certificates, we help clients get social security cards, we have a relationship with the DMV. We start from scratch to make sure they have their ID, so when they do have an opportunity to get housing, to apply for disability benefits, or to apply for employment, they have their ID to be able to make that transition. Last year, on all of our housing programs, we assisted over 150 individuals secure permanent housing. Yeah. If you look at the screen, we have some of our statistics, because I often get asked about some of the statistics within that. I took some of the statistics from our emergency shelter, which is our largest program. We served 313 individuals in shelter. And out of those, 60% of the 313 suffer from a mental health and chronic health condition. Over 50% enter shelter with no income. See, that makes that 150 look even bigger with some of the challenges that we have to face. Some don't know they're eligible for disability benefits and haven't been employed in years. So we really have a tall task when some of those individuals enter in the shelter. Probably the number one question I get asked is the age group. What's the most represented age group that actually comes through your shelter? And the number one answer is 55 to 64. 55 to 64. So a lot of individuals, when they should be thinking about retirement, potential retirement coming up and other things, and they're in a homeless shelter trying to figure out how they're going to make it the next day. Our veterans program has been extremely successful. We had over 80% of our veterans who exited our program go into permanent housing. So that's something to celebrate as well. Could all of our JCOC team and staff please stand? All of our current staff, please give them a round of applause. JCOC team, thank you for who you are. Thank you for what you give. And thank you for the hope that you refuse to let die every day. Thank you. I love you guys. Could our JCLC board members please stand and be recognized? Thank you all for your love, your support, your leadership, your guidance, your vision. Just thank you for everything. You guys have been wonderful. We have really entered into some challenging times just with all the things that we've taken on, and you guys have been amazing to allow us to do the work that we need to do every day. So thank you all. Now, the number one question I've probably gotten asked over the last 5 years, when is the building going to be done? So let me share a little bit about our new development that we took on. We've made so much progress since last year, and through our Help, Hope, and Healing capital campaign, we raised over $15 million of committed money to do this. Thank you to everyone that's in the building tonight that helped us achieve that goal. It's truly a miracle and amazing. I've shared my story many times of the vision to make this happen, and so we're excited. Right now, the building is scheduled to be completed in the first quarter of 26, so that's coming soon. And for those that don't know, in addition to all the programs that I just named off, we're going to be building an additional 38 affordable housing units. Yes. This will be, so these will be single room occupancy units. So they'll be efficiency units. They will have their own bathroom, kitchenette, have a bed. It'll be just a living space for an individual who is coming out of homelessness. So this is not just for anybody. This is restricted for individuals who are experiencing homelessness right now, who are part of our by name list and our coordinated entry process. And so we'll be able to bring those individuals in. And not just that, the units are subsidized. So the individuals will only have to pay 30% of their income for their rent and utilities. Because when we're watching the news and we hear people talk about affordable housing, they're talking about you and I, 30% of your disposable income. But what about the people that are living on a fixed income or not having a livable wage? This will give them an opportunity to be able to have housing close to the ocean front and be able to get back to living their regular lives. A big piece of it too is we actually will have supportive services attached to it. So it's not just the housing. We'll actually have staff there that will be working with those individuals to address whatever challenges they had and why they were homeless. So we often get asked about substance abuse and mental health. We'll be able to wrap those services around those individuals when they're in housing. They're more susceptible, more able to accept those type of services when you're in a safe place versus somebody standing outside or trying to figure out where they're going to sleep tonight and we're telling them stay clean and go get a job. We need to be able to provide housing first and then be able to support those individuals. So we're excited about that. Also, we'll have a brand new dining hall. Those who served in that old dining hall, boy, I loved it, but I sure wouldn't, I'm not gonna miss it. I'm not gonna miss that sump pump either, I'm telling you. I poured a lot of money into that building that should have been going into the clients. And so now that will change. So we have a new dining hall to be able to facilitate our hunger relief services as well. And last but not least, we'll have new admin offices as well. You know, so I'm happy I'll be going into a new office as well. So staff is very excited about that. But enough of me talking about it. Let me share a video of what it looks like, and we'll show a time-lapse video so you can kind of see the progress that we're making. our campus will be called the Dr. Betty Brown Chittister campus. So we're extremely excited about that. And I do want to give a quick shout out to our contractor, Hoy Construction. If Will Crocker can raise his hand. Will, thank you for everything as we move through this journey. We appreciate you being a part of this journey with us. I also want to give a shout out to my man, Steve Bliley with Virginia Community Development Corporation. Steve, put your hand up. They helped us apply for tax credits that are really vital to this project happening. And last but not least, our top individual donor that helped us make this vision come to a reality, Dr. Paul Chittister. Could you raise your hand? Thank you so much. We do, I believe, have one special guest here tonight, and I want to recognize them as well. Is Queen here? Queen? Anybody who has received services from us in the past and doing extremely well, there she is. Please give her a hand as well. She has received services and is doing extremely well. Queen, we're extremely proud of you and what you're doing right now. Thank you. I used to love to put my Indiana University helmet on. Y'all knew I was going to bring some Indiana up. Did I mention we're in the top 10 right now? I'm not going to say that to Senator Ross right now. I'm going to leave Tech alone right now. You know, it represented who we were as a team, but it was also used to protect me and the person I was looking to inflict pain upon as well. I know Senator Ross knows about that, but seriously, a football helmet or a mask hides the face beneath it. So you put a mask on, you can't see the face. Hunger and homelessness wear a mask as well, masking the image of God in our brothers and sisters. Now, when we unmask them, we don't find a problem, but we find a child of God. And our response only becomes one thing, and that's love. So tonight, I just ask that all of you support us in providing love through our help to create hope and start the process of healing for those we serve every day so we can remove this mask permanently. Thank you, and God bless.